The year was 2020. Plans were canceled, shops were closed, and the majority of human interaction was reduced to the computer screen. As we reach for our phones for connection, interaction, or at least Grubhub, Octavia E. Butler's 27-year-old novel, The Parable of the Sower, was topping the New York Times bestsellers list for the first time. Our shared experience of the global pandemic has made a lasting impression on each and every one of us. The things that we witness, endure, and overcome throughout our lives are what makes up our life story and the way that we perceive the world around us. As a group of college students and of curious minds, you might reflect on some of the ways that your own lifestyle or beliefs may have adjusted during this unsettling time. Octavia E. Butler's experiences inform her narrative writing. Today we'll discuss three main points. First, her experience growing up in poverty. Second, her experience being raised in a strict Baptist household. And third, her experience in school with a learning disability. Let's get started on my first point. Octavia E. Butler was raised in poverty, and according to NPR's 2021 Throughline podcast, her father died when she was very young and her mother worked as a maid. She often recalled in interviews what it was like to see her mother at work, often having to enter through the back door, being treated by her employers as invisible or inconsequential. Her mother would tell her that she needed to study unless she wanted to have a career like hers, and that was enough to keep Octavia Butler's nose in the books. Second, let's discuss her upbringing in a Baptist home. According to Octavia herself, in a Democracy Now! Interview from 2005, she was raised in the Fundamentalist Church, and one of her grandfathers was a Baptist preacher. Growing up with religion gave her a moral compass from an early age that she took with her throughout her writing and throughout her life, a certain consciousness that she was proud to have. According to Kimberly Winston's 2020 Religious Unplugged article, in the novels, religion is both a unifying and a dividing force. It both builds community and tears it apart. There's a frequent intersection of religion and poverty in Octavia's novels. In the face of poverty, religion is often a uniting force. It brings people together and gives them something to stand for. However, sometimes it can do the opposite. In one of her novels, a character comes up with a religion of her own known as Earthseed. And as she prophesizes, as she spreads the word, she gains many followers as well as many enemies. So far, we've discussed Octavia Butler's experience growing up in poverty, as well as her experience growing up with a strict Baptist upbringing. Now let's talk about her experience in school with an undiagnosed learning disability. According to Emma Rothberg's 2021 Women's History Museum article, Octavia Butler had undiagnosed dyslexia, and her slow reading pace led her teachers to frequently think that she was reluctant to do the work. Now, they weren't entirely wrong. She often found that the material in her schoolwork was just totally unrelatable or really boring. However, despite her dyslexia, the day that she received her first library card, the world just cracked wide open for her. Within her stories, invisible disability is a theme that is reoccurring. In particular, in the Parable series, the lead character, Lauren Olamina, has something that's referred to as hyperempathy syndrome. This is considered a disability, and what it means is that she can experience the emotions and sensations of everyone that surrounds her. And while it's considered a disability, we also notice the way, as the story unfolds, the way she's able to use this hyperempathy syndrome to her advantage. Today I've discussed three main points. Octavia E. Butler's experience growing up in poverty and witnessing her mother and her maid job. Also her experience being raised with strict Baptist upbringing, the moral conscience it instilled in her, and the way that it shows up in her novels with the intersection of religion and poverty. We also discussed her experience with dyslexia and the way that her teachers misunderstood her so frequently at school. Today, the year is 2025. Many surges of the COVID-19 virus are behind us, but the experience remains in our collective memory. Just as Octavia E. Butler's experiences informed her narrative writing, the experience of the pandemic has shaped each of us in distinctive ways. How will you tell your story? Thank you.